Do you trust who you're talking to online? Do you trust who you're writing to? Do you trust who you're speaking with? Do you trust? When you sign up in certain sites, you are asked for your email. Maybe you're doing a CAPTCHA, CAPTCHA, when they ask you to look at a picture and say, how many trees do you see? Are you a robot? Sometimes they ask for your phone number. Sometimes they ask you for a password or an ID. All these things are wound together to give some semblance of trust when you sign up for a platform or a website or anything that requires an online engagement. There's a new game in town called Trusted Accounts that really protects you from bots. It stops trolls. It protects you from abusing users. It's pretty fast. It protects your privacy, and it really makes sure that the users you're engaging with are real. So we wanted to talk to the founder, obviously, to say, okay, what's the difference here, and talk us through this. But the bigger question I have for you, the Swell community, is how have you felt so far in your journey online? And what are the things that you deploy to say, okay, this person is real? And have you ever been catfished? Have you ever been engaged with someone and realized that they weren't real and it was a bot? Let's talk to each other. Let's find this out. And Ludwig, thank you for being with us. We probably all have had similar experiences, so I'd love to hear your experience before you started your company. What prompted you to do that? So join us in this conversation. I'm interested in hearing everybody's thoughts on this. The meta conversation here is, I know I'm talking to you because when you reply, you're using your voice and you can't upload a file on Swell, and that's very helpful to me. But there's many layers to this, so I just want to hear people's thoughts, anxieties, experiences, and I'm looking forward to busting this wide open. Thanks, everybody.
I am thoroughly looking forward to this and learning more based on my experiences of... I won't get into all of the details, but I've essentially made most of my profiles on various platforms private to avoid the scams, the individuals attempting to approach from a romantic con, let's say, with the intention of a scam at the end or what have you. And I can avoid most of it then by making my accounts private, except unless an account I'm already attached with is hacked. And then it's a matter of, okay, let's assess this out via dialogue. But that is exhausting and a waste of my time. And also in making my accounts private sort of limits what social media can be for me then. And I'd like to be able to have the full breadth of features, possibilities, opportunities that social media is intended to offer. But because of these other things, it's not really an option anymore. At least not if I want to protect myself from not only things like, someone wanting to get information out of me or hack my accounts or, social engineering of some kind. But if I want to protect myself from a perspective of peace of mind, so I'm really looking forward to learning more.
Good afternoon, Deborah. It's funny because I haven't been actively on here since probably Easter. Probably since my birthday month of last month. But to answer your question, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I just never really worried about all that stuff. When it comes to catfishing or checking people's credentials, whether it's on social media and stuff, you just go check out the profile. And if everything lines up, great. If I feel like I want to test the waters, then I'll send them a back message and see if they know something. Especially if they here's the thing. I would send them a trick question and see if they can respond see if they can respond correctly. If they don't respond correctly because they know me, then they're out of the game completely. I block and I don't fool around with it. I I guess you can honestly say I've been on social media officially since about 2011 now. Been monitoring and doing a bunch of cleanup and different things since 2016. Definitely been doing more deep dive of cleaning up things since about 2020 and definitely since 2022. So with that being said, I guess I never really worried about it so much as far as seeing if they're real or authentic or not. But I do have my methods of seeing if they're just catfishing, especially with all the bots and stuff out there. So I can tell artificial intelligence when I see it. They just have to answer correctly or they will be cut out. I run a tight ship with my stuff, and I use Apple products, so I never worry about being jacked or hacked or anything. And that's from being an iOS phone user since September of 2012. Anyway, sorry for my rambling. I am on my lunch break. And I'm going to try to check back in more often when I can. I had my notifications set a little low or in the medium to where I wasn't getting anything and I didn't know. So I opened up the app for the first time in many weeks and noticed I had a response. I wasn't even sure. So I'm going to try to check in more often on Swell. I like this platform. It's nice. And thanks for your contribution, Deborah. You have a great day. Another thing I've been doing, especially since 2020, is that I flipped the script on a lot of algorithms. Here's the thing. If you like crap, you'll receive a bunch of crap. If you don't want to see crap, don't like the crap. And that's with any platform. So with that being said, you won't be getting a bunch of, people that I guess you won't be getting a bunch of trolls. You won't be getting a bunch of bots and all this artificial intelligence if you just like the content that is relevant or relatable to what you're into. And I proved it. Let's put it like this. Here's a prime example. I proved it on Snapchat, of all places. Because Snapchat has a feature called Spotlights. And I just kind of I scroll through doing it. Okay. Nope. And the thing I like was things that are kind of faith-based or very motivational, inspirational kind of things. So I kept that going on that algorithm. And guess what? The crap doesn't come through a platform that is notoriously known for a bunch of BS. So I even flipped the script on a platform that's known for doing all kinds of shenanigans. Because I'm only on it because of personal friends and family, and I don't really talk much. But I post motivational, inspirational things, and that's all I want to see and talk about. So I did all that on all my platforms. I did, just what you like. You do it on Twitter. You do it on Instagram. You do it on Facebook. You do it on any social media. Don't like crap and just do a 180 and do the good stuff. And that's just kind of how I see it. So anyway, I hope this is informative. And like I said, this is a postscript. Have a great day, Miss Deborah. Peace.
Good, happy Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I'd like to jump in to address the catfishing, but from a different angle. And maybe I'll make a main post on this someday, but as a, I'll be optimistic, middle-aged man who's often single. I'm in my 50s. I do plan to live to be 100, so there. Romance scams are part of that catfishing as well. And there's a weird one out there, too, where it's primarily Asian women are the cover, the face you're given. I don't know how to put it, the person you're given. And it turns out to be a Bitcoin cryptocurrency scam. But the one way, and I'll give some tips. Sadly, I've encountered this, and I have a 38-year-old nephew who's recently single, who is relying on me to help sort through. The best way is to hop on camera right away. and they have to answer questions directly. The number one thing people ask for, by the way, is a peace sign or a thumbs up. So if you're getting creative and you want someone to send you a picture, do something like thumbs in their ears, sticking their tongue out, something that's unusual, because the scammers are getting smarter. They know that the number one thing is give me a peace sign, give me a thumbs up. And how they're getting smarter with the camera one is they have pre-recorded sessions, and they pretend they can't hear you. And the red flag is the minute they ask for any kind of money, of course, you run away. But as far as identifying them as real, I have had weeks of conversation with an individual, and they play the long game, and then all of a sudden they need emergency surgery or something and they're asking for money. Those ones are harder to spot because they're playing the long game. Their romance scams are based on your vulnerability, you're lonely, and whatnot. So I most definitely, I try to get a face-to-face, and honestly, if they say, what's interesting, they may post a bunch of pictures and a video, and they said their phone doesn't work. The biggest question I ask is, how'd you make the videos and the pictures if your phone doesn't work and you need money for a phone? So I do get downright upset and angry about it, because a romance scam is very hurtful, very bad for the heart, I guess. And it's very common, sadly. So that's how, from that angle of determining if someone is real or not online, that's what I do. I'm well versed. I highly recommend you go on Reddit and follow a group. And let's see if I can pull the name up real quick so I don't run out of time. Oh, shoot. I thought I had it saved. It is called... See if I can find it. It's, well, not being stupid. It's the hashtag is r/scambait, and that is on Reddit. It talks about all different kinds of scams that exist on the internet, and I highly recommend it. Anti-work is another favorite Reddit of mine. It tells you about bad employers too. But Scambait is very good. Does everything from identity theft scams to romance scams, everything else. So I hope that's helpful. Appreciate it.
Boy, it is really a topic. Just having the power of discernment, or even just that gift of having a judge of character, or even just trusting. And sometimes the trust is given to the wrong people. I have been scammed. They have used God. They have used everything to talk me into participating, as far as they using other influential people to scam. Like literally building a website or Instagram page and pretending to be the Stormy Wellingtons, or pretending to be the Malik the Guru, credit guru, pretending to be these people to scam you out of money for their enjoyment, for their growth, and it's wrong, and that breaks down the barrier for you to trust or even want to be online. And it's supposed to be a safe space. And yeah, I feel you on that one. And sometimes in real life, people say they're your friend and they really aren't. So where is the trust all around the board?
Hi, Deborah, and hi, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, and also to everyone, thank you for your statements on this topic, this very important topic. You asked me how we started, or how this all started, why I started trusted accounts. I remember the day when I was sitting in a restaurant nearby in my hometown and talking to my dad, who used to be working for a newspaper online platform, and they had this one big problem in their comment section. So they knew they had recurring haters, so haters that would just come back with new accounts when you moderate them and just keep on hating, or even creating multiple accounts to then support their own opinions, making it seem like everyone is on their side and stuff like that. That was a couple of years ago, and we were really thinking a lot about potential solutions, because there is one important thing on many platforms on the internet, and that is anonymity. It's basically the thing that internet, what you post on the internet, it's never forgotten. So it takes years for posts to be deleted, or maybe they will never be deleted at all. So what you post today might not be your opinion in, let's say, 10 years, I don't know what, and then it's still out there. So even in countries where free speech is highly valued, that's still a very important thing. So how do you make sure that users are real when you cannot know who they are, when they are anonymous? And that's basically where trusted account comes in, because we do verify users, but we then ensure that all user data is encrypted, that we store it in a way that not even we can read it anymore, and that technically we can't even hand it out if we were forced to. That's the one side, and of course we have to gain user trust. So why should users trust us? And that's why we build it all up as a not-for-profit company, a for-purpose company. For example, we give away 100% of our earnings or of our profits to other projects that also support more peaceful web. So that's basically the story behind it, to prove that we are really not in it for the money, and that we have no intention at all to ever sell user data or give it away, because we solely exist to make sure that people are real and unique, but that they can stay anonymous on the internet. So that was like seven years ago, something like that. But now, why did I start it now? Like I started like 1.5 years ago, something like that. It's because of the recent developments in artificial intelligence too, and how easy it is to create bots for everyone, and also to generate text messages that are really authentic. And if you think about ChatGPT, what it can do, and there are many ways it can and is being abused, or such technologies are being abused to really spread disinformation big time on the internet. You can create real accounts using people, bypassing captchas, for example, and then they just hand it over to a bot who keeps spreading disinformation and trying to manipulate opinions and divide our society. So that's what we are in for. We are in it for a more peaceful web. That's our statement. And yeah, really looking forward to hearing your opinions on that. And thank you very much. Really enjoying being here.
Ludwig, thanks so much for your origin story and for your absolute passion for this and commitment to this. And, you know, on Swell, we are talking a lot about AI and about ChatGPT. And, we are looking for true authorities to help shepherd us through this very sort of dystopian time where we don't know what to trust. And to your point, so many AI technologies can become members of communities without us knowing it. And I don't know much about your technology. I watched your intro video, but I imagine every day you're keeping up with the advent of new technologies that beat us to the punch and are getting better and better. Can you tell us a little bit about that process of catching up to technology and how you do that? Or maybe your technology is just sort of bulletproof. I don't know, but can you explain it a little more for us? And you could feel free to use the description to link us to things that will help us understand. But I really appreciate this. We're going to be doing an AI kind of dedicated week, and definitely we'll be focusing on this, and we'll be featuring this conversation and of course featuring you in new conversations because it's so helpful, and we so appreciate people like you out there. So thanks for replying to this, and definitely look out for our featuring of this for a real focus in the coming weeks.
Thanks, Deborah. And yes, the developments in AI, they're just crazy. And it's impossible to keep up with all of them. There are daily updates out there that would just blow my mind. So it's really, we don't have to keep up with them, luckily, on a daily basis, because we come from another position. We allow platforms to moderate their users efficiently, again, even in anonymous communities. So it doesn't really matter how they abuse the platform or their anonymous accounts. So they can use AI or different technologies. We just enable the platforms to moderate the users, anonymous users, efficiently, and to build more relevant communities online. And how we do it is we ask for a phone number when a user creates a new trusted account, a verified trusted account, but we then instantly encrypt the phone number and other personal information that can be linked to the user's identity in a way that not even we can read it anymore. So we fully encrypt it, we store it on different providers across countries so that no single entity could access it. And even if we were forced to give it out, that we really couldn't. So that's not because we don't like the authorities or something. It's just because we strongly believe that you can only verify a community that is anonymous if you truly allow them to stay anonymous. And we've developed a technology there that is really easy to use too. So it's just a couple of clicks for the users, takes them less than 30 seconds to verify an account. And with one trusted account, they can then verify on any platform that integrates the Verify with Trusted button. And so it's a cool solution for a big problem, and I hope that we will see it out there on many community platforms soon. And to add to this, you also asked me if our solution is bulletproof. And that's a really good question, because what we see currently on those community platforms is that it's quite much the Wild West. So you can create as many accounts as you want, bypass moderation measures easily, and have your friends follow your profile, or your fake friends follow your profile, make your profile more authentic, buy clicks, buy stuff. And that's the current situation. And we want to make the current situation better, but we cannot make it bulletproof in an anonymous community. So, because then not enough people would verify. Because if you ask them to have a 10-minute video call with you, to hand in their ID, to maybe come by personally, that you can verify that it's really them and they get one account or something like that, that wouldn't really work in big communities. So what we did is we tried to find the sweet spot between the proof of how real people are and still making it really easy to use and fast, and still ensuring the user's anonymity. So we check for phone numbers, yes. We check for voice over IP phone numbers. We check providers. We really make sure that a person who wants to create multiple accounts really has to pay for it, to go to the provider, get a new phone number, and can't use any fake numbers and things like that. But we don't want to ask them to have a phone call with you or a video call, so that it's really still easy to create big communities that are authentic to a certain extent, where you can have good conversations, but we don't want to make it impossible for users to verify.
Hi there, this is Manish, and definitely I would like to share one of my experience which I have faced regarding online transaction, when a person from called me and he claimed that he's a banker and he wanted some of great kind of information, and likewise he was not talking. It was like he was a super genuine person, and for sure he's a banker, but he asked for the information. Few of the information I gave, knowing that he's a fraud. Still I gave the information just because those information cannot impact my score or maybe the credibility of the bank. So I provided those information, but when he asked for the OTP, that we have just raised one transaction and we need one OTP to make this transaction completed. So there I stopped and I said that this is not a way a bank can ask for OTP. So that's where I feel that the online transaction, maybe the online relation, is not authentic until we have a proof that the person who is talking to me is genuine or not. Thank you.
Hey, Manu, thank you for giving that example. It's the scariest thing when it's something to do with your own resources, like that someone could possibly convince you that you need to take action on something, and posing as an authority like a bank. We have to be so, so careful. And I'm glad you stayed safe and you knew the right questions to ask. A great reminder